everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Heathen Vegan. As always, I'm so happy that you guys are here and that you're joining me for another episode. For those of you that are new to my channel, hi, welcome. I hope that you guys do become part of the Heathen Vegan family, become subscribers. I just want to let you guys know that it does mean a lot to me that you guys are here and that you guys are sharing this experience with me and that we're growing the Heathen Vegan community, whether it's here on my YouTube channel or it's on Facebook or it's on Instagram. I just want to let you guys know, like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been so far a wonderful experience. Like, I finally feel as though I'm finding a spot that I belong with people that are part of my tribe. So guys, thank you so much. Okay, so enough of the bleeding heart moment. Today I am going to be sharing with you my recipe for gluten-free vegan chocolate chip cheesecake. We're going to start with this. We're going to start with our pan. I already have it greased up. This is a 9.5 inch circumference pie This is a 9.5 circumference pie maker, pie container. I don't know, but that's what that is. So for our crust, I want to make it a chocolate crust, and I'm going to use Glutino's gluten-free cookies. These are also vegan. I'm just going to crush them up in the food processor. I'm not going to mix them with butter or anything because of the fact that I have butter in my pan, or my pie dish, or my pie crust, whatever that is. I have butter already in there, and I'm hoping that in addition to the frosting that's in the cookies, that it will like take everything and keep everything together nicely. Oh, if you want to make it vegan and you don't care if it's gluten-free or not, Oreos are vegan, just to let you know. So you can use Oreos as this pie crust, or you can go and you can buy an already pre-made pie crust. The only thing with that is that they're going to be 6 inches in circumference, so that when you make your filling, you're going to have leftover. I'm also going to show you how to make chocolate sauce from scratch. And then we're going to do our aquafaba routine. I don't know if you guys watched the pumpkin cheesecake episode or not, where I told you about aquafaba, how you can make whipped topping out of it. So we're going to make that again. You have to drain your chickpeas. Be cool, you know, if you checked out my chickpea salad episode. And speaking of that, I mean, this channel is evolving, and that's fucking awesome, guys. Yeah, if you watch, like, chickpea salad was my first ever episode. And it's like, I haven't watched it yet. I'm kind of embarrassed too. I kind of get embarrassed to watch my videos after I make them. Like, I spend so long just editing them and watching them and deciding what I'm going to put in there and how. Oh yeah, by the way, you got to heat up your oven to 325. Anyway, so you're going to need a whole package of these. At least I think so. It's always good to have extra anyway. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put my cookies in my food processor. Just throw that over there. We'll start with this much, just so that we can get everything to fit. So that we get everything to fit in there. There you go. Come on, little cookies. You can do it. Come on, cookies, be strong. You too, food processor. You too. Alright, let's see what we got here. We got a couple of cookies still in the mix that need to get mixed up. But this is sticky, so that's good. I was hoping that would work like that, because I really didn't feel like putting any extra work into this, to be honest with you. So once this is actually done and it's mixed up, which it is now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, I'm going to dump it right in the pan. I don't know if you can see this or not, so I'll do it over here. Get some stuff stuck in the bottom. And then I'm going to roll up my sleeves. And I'm going to start pushing this into the pie crust. Now, I was right. With this already having that frosting inside of it, this is actually coming together nicely. It's moist, so they're sticking together as I push them down. I'm just going to kind of keep on pushing it until I get to the edge of the pan a little bit. I don't need for it to come all the way up, but I do want it to go a little bit up, if that makes any sense to you guys. That looks good. It's a nice consistency. think this will work out really great. I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna par bake this for about 5 minutes too, just so that it has so that it stays sticky. Our pie crust just came out of the oven. It looks good. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Now onto our cheesecake mixture. We're gonna need 32 ounces of cream cheese. I'm gonna use Tofuti's cream cheese. I'm gonna use 4 packages because it's 8 ounces each. You're gonna need about 3/4 of a cup of mini chocolate chips. Also a cup of sugar. 2/3 cup of sour cream. Again, I use Tofuti's brand sour cream. 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And then you're gonna need 4 eggs. This is my energy egg replacer. This is gonna probably give me, this is not my energy egg replacer, I'm sorry. I wish I had the energy egg replacer because that stays liquid. And if you've stuck with me in my other videos, you know that this stuff gets really gelatinous. And in this recipe, you're supposed to put in 1 egg at a time. So that's gonna be a little bit difficult, so I have to kind of like scoop it out. But anyway, let's get on to making our stuff. Now it's pretty important. I know in my last video when I made the empanadas that I told you with the cream cheese and the butter to make sure that it's cold as you make the dough for it. This is going to be the exact opposite. You got to make sure that your cream cheese is room temperature before you actually blend it together. What you're going to do first is you're going to take all 4 of your containers of cream cheese and you're going to get them into your bowl, and then you're going to mix them until it's nice and creamy. You don't want to over mix it because then you'll get too much air into the batter, and then that's where you'll run into issues as you start baking it. You are going to mix your 4 ounces of cream cheese on a medium high for about 30 seconds to a minute. Then we're going to add our cup of sugar, and again we'll mix it until it gets nice and creamy. And you'll mix that with your sugar for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, not too long though. Okay, next we are going to put in our 2/3 cup of our sour cream, 1.5 teaspoons of your vanilla, and then your 1/8 cup of salt. And we're going to mix that back up too. So when you put your sour cream and your vanilla and your salt in there, you'll mix it again for like another minute. We have to add our eggs one at a time. So I'm just going to go like this. You see that? Look at that. Ah, it's so gooey. It's like a big snot. I suppose I shouldn't say that in a cooking channel. Alright, I had to tweak out this recipe a little bit. Mostly because of the fact that the last time that, oh my god. The last time that I made cheesecake, vegan cheesecake, was when I still had my energy egg replacer. With the Bob's Red Mill egg replacer, it's not only is it thicker in consistency, but it also has a unique flavor. So 1.5 cups now of sugar and a whole full cup of sour cream for this to work, and it's good now. I hope it's good now. We'll see what happens when we actually bake it. I hope it comes out good. Okay, let's get in our chocolate chips. This looks nice and fluffy. I really hope that it comes out good. I'm a little bit concerned now because it's my first time making cheesecake with the Bob's egg replacer instead of the energy egg replacer. So now we are gonna, this looks nice and fluffy too. We're gonna pour this into our pie pan. I did tell you guys that you have to preheat your oven to 325. You won't need a water bath. You shouldn't need a water bath anyway to make this recipe. Don't forget, guys, to stick around because we're going to make the chocolate sauce from scratch, which is really, really simple and easy. And then we're going to make our aquafaba, our whipped topping, out of the liquid from a can of chickpeas. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Now that we got this in the oven at 325, this is going to stay in the oven for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's good to let the cheesecake gradually get to room temperature. Then when it gets to room temperature, I'm going to leave it in the oven, in the refrigerator overnight. Just because I find, like, with gluten-free vegan desserts, it's always best to let them sit overnight. So, that is this part of the show. We got this part of the show done, guys. We made our crust and we made our batter. So, when I come back, our cheesecake should be, hopefully, nice and firm and ready to go. We'll make our chocolate sauce and we'll make our aquafaba whipped topping. and have a tasty treat. Alright guys, so now we're on day 2 of our chocolate chip cheesecake. I did take this out, so last night I finished cooking this. It takes a long time. It takes a long time to chill to be able to decorate it. I just took it out of the refrigerator a couple minutes ago. So after it comes out of the oven, you let it cool on top of your stove for about an hour or so, and then you put it into your fridge overnight, and then you get something like this. This looks beautiful. I hope you guys can see this. What you are going to need to make your chocolate sauce is you're going to need a half a cup of unsweetened, baking cocoa, a cup of granulated sugar, a half a cup of cold water. If you have like refrigerated water, that would be a good water to use. You're also going to need an 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and then you're going to need 1.5 teaspoons of, vanilla. What you're going to do next is you are not going to turn on your stove just yet. You're going to put in your cocoa, and you're going to put in your sugar. And if you have a whisk, you're going to whisk it until the cocoa is no longer lumpy and it's mixed in with the sugar. Now you're going to turn on your heat. You're going to turn it up to like a medium-high heat. You're going to add your water. You're going to add your water. And you're going to add your, not your sugar. You already added your sugar. And you're going to add your salt. You're going to whisk this constantly. Like gravy again, like in our last episode when I was talking about the cheese sauce for the cream broccoli. This won't take as long as the cream sauce for the... This won't take as long as the cream sauce for the broccoli. So this right here, when you take this off the heat, it's going to be very, very thin in consistency. But once it gets a chance to cool off, it will thicken up. My recommendation is as soon as you take this off the heat, to put it in some kind of container, because you don't want it to be thick. Hanging out in your pan. Once this gets to a boil, because mine isn't actually about to get to a boil, you're going to bring this down and you're going to let this simmer. For about 30 seconds. When you take it off the stove, you're going to let it cool for about 5 minutes, and then you're going to put in your vanilla. The reason why I use tofu for this recipe is because of the fact that I have used tofu for every single cheesecake that I've ever made, and it's always come out great. This is now boiling on simmer. I'm going to remove this from the heat. I'm going to let it cool off for like 3 minutes, and then I'm going to put in my vanilla. Oh, good news. This has cooled off quite a bit. I'm now going to put in my 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm going to stir it in here. The vanilla is what's going to give this sauce that, like when you go out to eat, or if you go and you buy like already made chocolate sauce, that nice, I guess, texture and consistency that chocolate sauce has. The vanilla is what, not only is it going to give it flavor, but it's mixing in with the chemicals. Not only is it going to give it flavor, but it's now mixing in with the chemicals of the rest of our ingredients, and it's turning it into that really nice sauce. So aquafaba is the thick water that is left in canned beans. More likely than not, chickpeas are a safe beans to use. It costs $1 to buy Goya brand. It costs $1 to buy the Goya brand. All you have to do is take your bowl, take a sieve, a strainer, or colander, however you call it, put it in the bowl, empty out the can inside the bowl, then go and reserve your chickpeas for later. Again, if you'd like to go and watch my first video that I ever made, chickpea salad, to have some ideas for your chickpeas, that would be great. Your can of Goya chickpeas is going to yield you about a half a cup. If it's a little bit over, it's a little bit under, that's fine. You are also going to need 1/8 of a teaspoon. You are also going to need 1/8 of a teaspoon of your crema tartar. Now your crema tartar, you don't necessarily need to use it, but it's going to do 2 things. First of all, it's going to help this stiffen up quicker, and it's going to keep and maintain the stiff peaks that is reminiscent of your traditional like Cool Whip or any other type of like whip topping. You're also going to need a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. Now your powdered sugar, the measurement is going to depend on how sweet you like things. Another thing I want to mention before I actually bring this in for a close-up is your aquafaba. You are going to need to use it immediately. But there is a silver lining to this cloud. You can freeze this. So remember that. You can see inside of the bowl right now, I have the chickpea syrup in there. I'm going to put my 1/8 tablespoon of cream of tartar in there. And then I'm going to start mixing this. On a medium speed for about 3 minutes until it starts to form stiff peaks. See how it's starting to get foamy? Now that it's getting foamy like this, we're going to put it on to high. For about 3 to 4 minutes. See right now that it's starting to get really, really foamy. That is in part to the cream of tartar. I think this is amazing. There is such an amazing science behind food. I've been blending it now for about a minute. I got about another 2 to 3 more minutes left. This is now 3 minutes in, guys. 3 minutes in. Look at that. Alright, my friends, we have gotten our stiff peaks. Look at that. That is so amazing. And this is what our gluten-free vegan cheesecake looks like with our hot fudge sauce and our whipped cream. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I know that I have enjoyed making it, and I hope that you leave a like, possibly even a comment, and if you so choose, subscribe, and then hit the bell so that you'll always be notified when I have a new video coming out.